Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Diabetes Health Watch. My name is Wilberforce. I am a registered pharmaceutical technologist duly licensed to practice in Kenya by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. I am also a trained diabetes educator stroke health coach. In today's video, we will be talking more about diabetes. What is diabetes? If I use my own analogy from what my biology teacher taught me in secondary and from what I learned in the School of Pharmacology, I can give it my own definition. And this is my definition. Diabetes is high blood glucose, which is higher than prediabetes. So there is the normal range, there is the pre-diabetes range, and there is the diabetic range. In Kenya, we test diabetes using units that are called millimoles per liter. In the United States, they use the unit of milligrams per deciliter. So today I will be giving the normal ranges for diabetes. When you are diagnosed, the basic tests that are done are normally done in millimoles per liter. The most prevalent test that is done to test diabetes in Kenya is your fasting glucose test. So once you've had your main meal, maybe it is your supper or dinner, I don't know which term applies there, whether it's supper or dinner, but once you've had maybe your evening meal, you've gone to sleep, you've gone without food for more than 8 hours. Maybe you've gone to the health facility to be tested. You'll be told not to take anything. The last thing you should take is just your evening meal. Then fast for 8 hours, go to the health facility and get tested. So once you have been tested using the normal glucometer, if your ranges are below 3.9 millimoles per liter, you are considered to be hypoglycemic, that is low blood sugar. If your range is between 4 and 5.5, then you are in the normal range. And if it is between 5.6 to 6.4, you are in the pre-diabetic range. If your blood sugar will be in the range of 6.5 and above as your fasting blood sugar, you will be considered to be diabetic. These tests must be done in 3 separate days of your fasting blood sugar if you must depend on them as testing and confirmation of diagnosis or the diagnosis of diabetes. Otherwise, your doctor may recommend other tests to confirm whether you are diabetic, which may include the OGTT test or the HbA1c. For those 2 tests, it will be a discussion of another day. Today, I will want to major into discussing the typical signs that you might be having diabetes. There are 4 typical signs that your blood sugars might be high. Which ones are they? We can start with number 1, which is polydipsia. Polydipsia is excessive thirst. If you are taking water at very short intervals, despite maybe the weather not being very sunny, then it might be a typical sign that you might be having diabetes. The second sign which follows you taking too much water, which will be polyuria, that means excessive urine. It means you are going to pee a lot. The body is trying to fight the high blood sugar by you taking the water and thereby also excreting it at high rates. The third typical sign for diabetes is polyphagia. Polyphagia means that you are having excessive hunger. Despite you eating a meal and being satisfied, after a short period of time, you go back to feeling hungry, and you will also want something to bite. Another sign that is typical with diabetes is weight loss. You'll find that you are losing weight rapidly, but this will not always be the case, because maybe sometimes in type 2 diabetes, you'll find that you are gaining weight because of metabolic syndrome. Once you are taking too much carbohydrates or sugar, your pancreas will produce insulin, which is the hormone that should transport sugar from your blood into your cells. Once the sugar is in your cells, it is injected into the mitochondria to be utilized to produce energy. So if you're having insulin resistance, that your body is resisting the work of insulin transporting your blood glucose into the cells, your body will start packing that glucose in the middle section, of which in Kenya we call it kitambi. Some people think that kitambi inamaanisha pesa imekuja. Others say naona bibi anakulinda vizuri. So having a kitambi does not mean that you are healthy, because most of the time it is a sign that your body is not metabolizing sugar well, and your insulin is packing it up as fat in your middle section. Once insulin has tried to pack your glucose as glycogen, which is the form of glucose which is stored in the liver, once the liver is full, it will pack your glucose in the middle section as visceral fat. It's better for you to have subcutaneous fat, which is fat under your skin, than visceral fat, because once your subcutaneous fat is full, the body will pack your fat as visceral fat. Therefore, you should be careful not to confuse visceral fat as being healthy. Another typical sign, which might not be typical, is blurry vision. If your vision is diminishing with time, you cannot see clearly in low light, or you are having night blindness, don't just think it as normal. Please, if it is occurring with the other above signs that we have discussed, please just tell your doctor maybe to check your blood sugars and confirm if they are normal. Do not just go to the ophthalmology clinic trying to get yourself glasses without you checking your blood sugars. Please, if your sight is diminishing, blood sugars really affect the blood vessels of your eyes, causing retinopathy, which also can lead to blindness if not taken care of in time. Another sign that you might be having blood sugar, or you might be having diabetes, is slow healing of wounds. You find yourself that once you have been scratched, your wounds are not healing as fast as possible. This is because once your blood sugars are high, you will pee a lot, and as you pee, you lose very many elements in your blood, including zinc. And zinc is very important in healing of wounds. Another sign that you might be having diabetes is too much fatigue. If you are fatigued most of the time, it means that your insulin is not working. The insulin should inject your glucose into the cell for it to be used to produce energy. So if you are, most of the time you are tired, even after eating or after having a meal, please may you check your blood glucose and know in which range are you. Are you normal? Are you pre-diabetic? Or are you diabetic? If you find yourself in the pre-diabetic range, do not sit comfortably and go back to your normal habits. Please institute lifestyle changes. If it is bringing down your weight, which will increase your insulin sensitivity, your insulin will work better if you bring down your weight, if you're having excess weight. Other lifestyle changes that you can institute is exercise. Maybe walking, running, lifting weights, and other exercises that may bring down your blood glucose and make your body sensitive to insulin. Another thing that you can institute as a lifestyle change is in your diet. Just reduce the carbohydrates you are taking, the sugars, the high sugary drinks that you might be taking, the cakes, bread, and other things that are counted as carbohydrates, which once taken, they will be converted into high sugars. If you institute those changes, you will be at a better situation. It is of paramount importance that you be on your alert to know where are you in your life. If you are able to check your HbA1c, which is another test that averages how your body has been handling blood sugar for the last 3 months, maybe you have insurance or you can pay for a test in a lab or in a hospital. Even if you are not diabetic, you can go and request for a HbA1c test, which will show how your body has been metabolizing sugar for the last 3 months. Maybe once in a year, you can do your test and know at which stage are you in life. Are you converting from normal to prediabetes and from prediabetes to being diabetic? It is better that you be safe. So kindly make the test. I think this is enough for today. The other tests, we will be discussing them later. Adios and may God bless you. May we meet tomorrow.